All right, last week you guys did amazing. Finding things that were the same and things that were different between two books. Today we're going to take a look at two stories that a lot of you have definitely read before. One of the stories is The Three Little Pigs. Now, this book might not look the same as the Three Little Pigs story you've heard before, but this is the same as just the normal Three Little Pigs story. We also are going to take a look at the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Now, this is told by the wolf. This one is told by the pigs. So, today, I'm going to read the Three Little Pigs quickly through, just to give us a little refresher to remind us about the story. After that, we're going to read the true story of the Three Little Pigs. While we read this one, we're going to be trying to think of things that are the same and things that are different about the two stories. So first, we're going to read The Three Little Pigs, retold by Elise Sweeney, illustrated by Roberto Collier Morales. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there lived three little pigs. Each little pig built a house. The first little pig built a straw house. A wolf knocked on the door. "Let me come in," said the wolf. "No," said the little pig. "Then I'll blow your house in," said the wolf. The wolf blew the house in. The little pig ran to his brother's house. The second little pig built a house of sticks. He was not afraid of the wolf. "Let me come in," said the wolf. "No," yelled the pigs. The wolf blew the house in. The little pigs ran to their brother's house. The third little pig built a brick house. His brothers warned him about the wolf. "Let me come in," yelled the wolf. "No," shouted the pigs. The wolf huffed and puffed, but the wolf could not blow down the brick house. And the three little pigs lived happily ever after. The end. So I want you to keep this book, The Three Little Pigs, locked in your brain. I want you to be thinking about it as we read the true story of the Three Little Pigs. While we're reading this book, I want you to be thinking of things that are the same between the two books and things that are different. While we're reading, we're going to pause and write some different things. If you think of something, you can pause the video and write it down. The true story of the Three Little Pigs. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on one little secret. Nobody knows the real story, because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Whoa, I already noticed something that's the same and something that's different. Both of these books are about what? About the Three Little Pigs. They're both the story of the Three Little Pigs. But what's different about this one? Who's telling this story? This one's told by the wolf. So this is a different side of the story. This one is told, really this is told by a bystander. So we'll just write, but it's not told by the wolf. We don't know who's telling this story, but it is not the wolf. This one is the wolf. Let's see how they're different and how they're the same. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think they were big and bad too. But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back and once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. In this book, did they tell us that he was making a cake for his dear old granny? No, but in this book they told us. Wolf was making a cake. And that's why he needed the sugar. This one didn't tell us why he needed the sugar. Another thing that I notice, this book, they think the wolf is a big bad wolf. In the real story, or in the normal story of the three little pigs, the wolf is big bad wolf. But in this story, he's saying he's not big and bad. Not big and bad. He's saying that he was just trying to be nice and help his granny. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? The first pig in this book built his house out of straw. Let's check out this one. Let's see, hold on. His house, the first little pig built a straw house. So in both stories, first pig has a straw house. They both had a straw house. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Whoa. So in this story, he didn't blow the house down. He said he sneezed. The wolf said the house came down because he sneezed. Is that the same or is that different than this book? Let's see. In this one it says, then a wolf knocked on the door. Let me come in, said the wolf. No, said the little pig. Then I'll blow your house in, said the wolf. The wolf blew the house in. The little pig ran to his brothers. Is that the same or is that different? Good, it's different. In this one, the wolf just sneezed. The wolf sneezed and the house fell in. But in this one, the wolf blew the house in. That's very different. Let's keep reading to find some more things that are the same and things are different. Oh, actually, you know what I just realized? There is something that's the same though. I want you to think about these two parts of the story. What's something that's the same? The wolf sneezed in this one. The wolf blew in this one, but what happened to the house in both? Good. The first house blew down. In both stories, first house fell down. There were different ways, but in both stories, the house fell down. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. In this book, he ate the pigs. That book, I don't think he did. It didn't tell us that. The pig ran to his brother's house. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have a cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He has built his house out of sticks. Whoa, in both books, he goes to the second little pig next. This one, the house was built out of sticks. Let's see. The second little pig built a house of sticks. He was not afraid of the wolf. Ooh, is that the same or different? I want you to think and share out loud. Were these houses built the same or differently? Good. Second house was built of sticks in both. That's something that's the same. Okay, second house was built of sticks. Second house, built of sticks again. Something that's the same. I rang the bell. On the stick house, nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chin. I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I sniffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. You're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Did the second little pig house blow in on this one? How did it? How did the second little pig's house fall to the ground on this one? Let's see. The second little pig built a house of sticks. He was not afraid of the wolf. Let me come in, said the wolf. No, yelled the pigs. The wolf blew the house in. The little pigs ran to their brother's house. So in this one, the wolf again blew the house in. I'm going to do a check mark because that happened again. Here, the wolf sneezed again. I'll do a check because that happened again. That's a little different. But something that is the same, second house blew down. It also fell down just like the first one. Let's keep reading to see what the wolf says happened to the third house. Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but the cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. It's the same. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. Third house in this story was bricks. What was the third house in this one? Ooh, also bricks. That's something that's the same. This book has so much that's the same and so much that's different. Third house, bricks. Third house, bricks. All right, let's see what happens at the third house here. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make him a nice birthday card instead of a cake, when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. And the third little pig yelled, "And your old Granny can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fella, but when somebody talks about my Granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy who's going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. The end. Now, I noticed something else that was the same about the third house. Think about what was something the same about the third house in both of these stories. Good. The third house did not blow down. So the third house didn't blow down. Oh, silly Miss Ellis, I am writing that in the wrong place. The third house didn't blow down. I also just realized I wrote the second house sticks in the wrong place. I know things that are the same go in the middle, so that should be in here. The second house was the same in both of these. Now, both of these stories have a lot that was the same and a lot that was different. All 3 of the houses were made of the same things. I had to move this over, silly Miss Ellis. And all 3 houses had the same outcome. The first 2 got blown in, but the third did not. But they also were very different. In this one, they were looking for sugar. The wolf was looking for sugar. In this book, he wasn't looking for sugar. In this book, he blew all their houses down, but in this one, he just sneezed. He was a big bad wolf in this one, but this one, it said he was framed. I want you to think back about these 2 stories. I want you to think of some more things that are the same and different. These stories are the exact same story, just told by different people. This shows how a lot of times stories can be the same and stories can be different. I want you to keep practicing looking at things that are the same and different. And I want you to remember, things that are different go on the outside. Things that are the same go in the middle. I know Miss Ellis messed up one of those. But I want you to remember, things that are the same go right here in the middle. So as you're reading at home, continue looking. Continue trying to find things that are the same and different about different stories that you read. Good job today.